Oh my gosh, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just... So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
They'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello everyone, again it is Sunday, December 5th, and I am David, this is Eric. Together we are Derek, and we are here to talk with you about everything that's new in the world of Tesla and electric vehicles. Sorry, we were on hiatus for a couple weeks, just busy with the Thanksgiving holiday. Hope you guys all had a busy, nice holiday with your families there and friends. But we're back today, and there's a lot of news to talk about.
Hi everybody. Sorry we've been gone for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know, it's been kind of crazy. Hopefully everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I know I've seen a lot of you on Twitter because I'm pretty active on Twitter still. Welcome to see everybody in chat. So kind of like usual, we're going to go over the news and then we're just going to open it up and kind of hang out with you guys, chat with you guys, see what's new, how everybody feels about everything that's happened. It's been a very busy 2 weeks. This past week has been really crazy in terms of Tesla offerings, Tesla news,
Tesla stock price.
Stock market, crypto market.
Oh,
yeah, don't look at that. It's not great. But anyway,
I think
we're
we
going to
first
jump right into it.
Yeah, where we pick up where we left off a couple of weeks ago. We were telling you all that we were getting ready to take delivery of our 2021 Model S, which we had ordered back in like January of this year, and we finally got a VIN. We had a delivery date scheduled to be right there, like right before Thanksgiving. But when we finally got the VIN, we're like, that's a 2021 VIN, and we had heard that other people are already getting 2022 VINs, and we were like, we've already waited almost 11 months on this. We don't mind waiting a couple more weeks, so we went ahead and put our delivery on hold just so we could get a 2022. Chances are there's not going to be really any significant difference between a 2021 and 2022, but since we've waited so long, we decided to wait, and we do have another estimated delivery date range of December 18th to December 31st, so it is still coming supposedly later this month, and we'll definitely we're not gonna delay it this time, but we are expecting to take delivery before the end of the year.
Yay! So another Model S coming before the end of the year. I don't know if we're gonna necessarily be doing like a whole like delivery video on that one, just because it's
about the same thing.
Kind of the same thing every time. So maybe we'll just do like a video afterwards about it.
I think too. Some people have been requesting those to go over like step by step, kind of like orientation again. So maybe we could tie that together and just go through the. And because it's been like a year.
Now that I have the secret item, I can do that.
Secret item.
Secret item. Secret item. Anyway, I have something now that will make that whole process a lot easier. Before, because the screen is very glary.
Oh, yes, okay.
And I didn't want to film anything if you can't see the screen, or all you can see are reflections in it. So I was waiting for my matte screen protector from Abstract Ocean. Sponsor, huge claps in chat. And so now that I have that for the new Refresh S, I can go ahead and make that video.
Speaking of matte, how about the new Mattel Cybertruck Mega Block set, which we ordered several of these back when they were first announced a couple months back. We took delivery of 4 of them last week, and Eric was busy.
This is empty. So this is my box that I used with all the other pieces. It's still heavy, but listen, there's extra pieces.
Oh,
I don't know.
Anyways, we bought a few of those. Show them the back of the box too, because it shows how it all looks. Box. But basically, we bought several of those. We did give one away. What is it, on Friday night to one of your lucky subscribers. And these are nice. Mattel offers them. It's like 3,283 pieces, so it is a lot of pieces. They're very similar to Legos, but they're not Legos. But they are compatible with them, so you can mix and match. But Eric spent like half a Thanksgiving weekend putting it together. Be very careful.
I think it was like 12 hours.
Yeah,
12
straight.
hours straight.
It's like he was.
I was literally up till what, 2 a.m.?
I don't know, but yeah, you were all day long putting this thing together. Like, and you can see it is very large, and again, 3,283 pieces. And it's got, opening doors, the tonneau cover opens up, the
no door handles though, so it's not easy.
Oh yes, and they're not electronically open, but adjustable suspension, everything. So it's very, very detailed.
And I actually already broke my front glass right here, so you can kind of see that line if I hold it just right.
Oh yeah.
So I broke the broken glass, I guess you could say. Anyway, though, it's pretty cool.
So again, we gave one away on Friday, and we still have one that we're sending. It has its home is already.
Dan's in chat. We can say
Dan is there, so we're sending it to a local viewer.
Yep. So and did you mention the Model X?
Not yet. No. So
So in addition to the Refresh Model S that we will be taking delivery of, hopefully mid to end December. That's a 2022. We are still waiting on our Refresh long range Model X. Still says January. I don't know. I've heard a bunch of different things. I've heard maybe it'll be December. I don't know. Hopefully it's January though. It's only been about a year since we ordered it. Dan's actually in chat. He ordered his 365 days ago, like a week ago.
Yeah.
I saw his tweet about that. So hopefully we hear something more about it soon. I'm very excited for the X though. I think I'm more excited for the X than the S in terms of the utility of the vehicle, because we no longer have the Model Y.
Yeah, definitely be more room for the dogs and stuff like that in the X.
Exactly, and with what we have planned, because I had some pretty fun things planned for that car, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Very excited. But yeah, so that's kind of like our little car update. Now, in terms of news, Tesla had several new offerings this week, I would say.
On the shop, not like new vehicles,
the shop.
but yeah.
So first, we have the Cyberquad for kids here. Looks pretty awesome, not gonna lie. $1,900 though, so it is not cheap. Up to 15 miles of range and top speed of 10 miles an hour. For anyone 8 years and up that is under 150 pounds. It did sell out really quickly. Looks really cool. It's actually made by Radio Flyer, who made the Model S for kids. So makes sense. But if we watch this video real quick, I wanted to see. So there's Franz riding the little one, this one, Cyber Quad for kids. However, if we pay a little attention and
right
really
there in
get
the
into it
background.
right here, he is now on an adult version of that. So that is what I'm kind of really waiting for. I will be 100% honest. I did not buy this.
This is like the first Tesla item that Eric has not purchased.
I know, and I'm having withdrawals, and I already had looked on eBay afterwards and was like, oh, should I buy one? And then I saw the price that people were asking and was like, yep, not worth it. But I guess the big thing is one, don't have kids, don't really have anyone to like super enjoy it. All the Model S for kids and everything I've just given away to friends. And with shipping and taxes, it was like $2,200. So in the grand scheme of it, I saved $2,200. So I'm actually pretty proud of myself.
And definitely think it looks like a cool toy and stuff. If you do have kids, I'm sure they'll enjoy it. But we didn't have anybody. I mean, we could maybe ride it ourselves, but it's not street legal or anything like that. And it doesn't look like a true like all-terrain vehicle. So I don't think we'd be able to take it out off-roading anywhere. So it's something you'd drive around in the driveway or in the, you know. But that's about it.
Yeah, I probably would drive it around for like 5 minutes and then I would end up giving it away or whatever. But
so if there is
anyway.
anyone in the Denver area who did order one, we definitely would like to check it out, but we did not order one ourselves.
Correct. But the other Tesla offering was the Cyber Whistle. Tesla's done some crazy stuff over the years. Let's admit it. They've offered some pretty weird stuff. We had the surfboard. That's kind of weird for Tesla to make a surfboard. It was in collaboration with somebody. But we have the Tesla Tequila. Boring Company had the Not a Flamethrower. So a lot of
the
weird...
short shorts?
The short shorts.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stuff over the years. So I'm not super surprised by this. But this is the Cyber Whistle. Inspired by Cybertruck, limited edition Cyber Whistle is a premium collectible made from medical grade stainless steel with a polished finish. This whistle includes an integrated attachment feature for added versatility.
Wow. And this is so you can blow the whistle on Tesla, kind of like the short shorts, you know.
Yes,
kind of
there's a reason
right?
behind all of these products, and I think that's kind of why I love it so much, because if you really look into it, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh yeah, and they also have Cybertruck socks, as Diego pointed out.
Yes.
Let me pull that up.
We can't talk about those.
We can't talk about those yet, but anyway, they also have some new sweater, zip-up hoodie, and a zip-up pullover.
I hadn't seen a couple of those items.
The solar roof tee is pretty dope. If I had solar roof, I'd totally do that. I don't think they have much other like new stuff besides their Cybertruck.
Definitely some gift ideas out
socks.
there, though. We'll say that.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like the timing that they were just like, okay, push it all out now. It's like gifts time. But anyway, some new stuff from Tesla, which made me think, because a lot of it is very cyber oriented, are we going to be hearing more about the Cybertruck? Is something going to be happening sooner than later? And we have a lot of new details from Elon himself on the Cybertruck. So Mars catalog, or Mars blog on Twitter actually said, rumors Cybertruck no longer configurable on the Tesla site, which confirmed. It's been like that for a while.
Yeah.
Debating on getting rid of the single motor and having only 2, 3, and 4. And then Elon said, initial production will be a 4-motor variant with independent, ultra-fast, responsive torque control on each wheel. And then went into some other tweets that he basically said it'll have the crab walk, which is something that Rivian was supposed to have, but was having issues with it. So they have actually delayed it, maybe even canceled it, unsure of at this moment. So the crab walk will be pretty interesting, but the 4-motor variant is something we haven't seen before. And something that there leaves a lot unknown about it. Because originally, when reserved, which by the way, if you look at the Cybertruck reservation, it does not indicate final pricing. So, anyway, when we did reserve, which was on opening night, they had said the single motor will be roughly 39,000, dual motor 49,000, and tri-motor was
like
that
69,000, I think.
69,000? Now I'm tripping.
Yeah. And that was supposed to come with the 520 or so miles of range.
Yeah, so now let me just make sure that I have this right. So yeah, single motor was 39,000 with a 250 mile plus range. The dual motor was 49,000 with 300 plus mile range. And yeah, the tri-motor was 500 mile range for 69,900. So, seeing how that leads up, I would guess that the quad motor is probably going to be about 89,900. I'm expecting 900 or
if not more.
90K.
I would
really
be surprised.
more.
Well, we've seen just over the past year that they've had several price increases, and
But also the 4680s are supposed to be cheaper.
But also with the potential tax credit, it would have to be below. It would have to be 79,900. So that's actually. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. So maybe they'd have a version that would be tax credit eligible, and then another one
with longer range.
Or is it something that could they sell it at the 79,900 and then unlock that range?
Ooh, I like that idea.
Software unlock like they did in the past with like the S60 and changing it to like an S75 or something like that.
I
so
like
maybe
that
that's the way
idea.
they could still sell the car or the truck a little cheaper under that 80,000 limit, but then unlock the battery for you at a later time. That would be nice.
I actually really like that idea, and I'm completely on board with that. So hopefully that's what they do is 79,900. But I still think for the full 500 mile range quad motor, it would be more than that. And the 500 mile range is really what I want out of the Cybertruck. That makes it more useful in terms of towing because, as we've all seen, especially with Rivian lately, they're losing 60% of their range when they're towing. So the more range that you have, the better off you are for towing and not having to lose everything due to that. So I figure towing with a Cybertruck that's 500 mile range, probably get 250 to 300. Of course, depending on the weight.
And the weather and the road conditions and all that.
Exactly.
Wind, everything.
But that's why I really want a Cybertruck with the biggest battery and range possible. So if they're going to give me a quad motor, but it's 300 mile range, that doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it would still be useful around town or for short trips, but I think there are a lot of people want this, to be able to take it off-road out in the middle of nowhere where there aren't necessarily going to be charging options available. And so it'd be nice to have that highest range possible just to be able to get there and get back. Even if it does have the solar tunnel cover and you can add a few miles back, via the solar energy, it'd still be nice to have the largest range possible for those who are towing.
Definitely. So fingers crossed we're still going to get that range when we get the quad motor Cybertruck. And since that is what's going to be offered first, as soon as they open it up and tell us that we can upgrade to that, we'll just go ahead and upgrade to that. And then we still have, currently we have a dual motor and a tri-motor on order. So what we'll probably do is take the tri-motor and upgrade it to a quad motor and then still keep the dual motor on order. I don't know, maybe
that might be years away. So
maybe
we
years
probably
away.
won't be getting that one, but at least we do have that option, I guess.
Exactly. And
it's in the queue.
Maybe if my dad wants one, or maybe if we want to explore Turo options, that would be something.
That would be
one.
Yeah, I think that it would. A lot of people, I think, would be popular with them because it would give them a taste, a chance to try it out and take it out, on a weekend trip, but not necessarily, need to go across the state or something like. But
definitely,
I think that would be good. And with the stainless steel, and body panels and stuff, you wouldn't have to worry too much about dings on that.
Exactly. That's kind of why I'm leaning a little bit more towards that. But on to some other Cybertruck news. So Marco RP, he tracks a lot of different like superchargers and everything for permits, but he actually found out the stamping building in Texas now has review complete, which means I believe technically they can start actually ramping up production on that. So if you look at this, they had an estimated cost of stamping to be $150 million.
Wow.
Now, there's several other, I think it was on, it was one of those other links that there's other like paint and body and white and a bunch of other stuff. And I believe they are all now review complete as well. So it is not just the stamping section. So that being said, do you think we could see Cybertrucks in early 2022? Or do you think that's too soon?
I don't know. But is the stamping, is it definitely for the Cybertruck or is that for the Model Y?
Well, I guess we don't fully know.
Because we know that the Model Y is going to be built in Texas at the Gigafactory there, and they're going to build the Model Y first. So I think maybe that's just the Model Y stuff for now, but we'll see.
Yeah. Either way, super excited for Cybertruck as always. I think I'm more excited for Cybertruck than like the refresh S and X, just because the utilitarian aspects of the vehicle and like everything about Cybertruck makes me super excited. Now looking at it though, it is a very polarizing vehicle. It is not like a typical vehicle. It doesn't look anything like it. So I know it's not for everybody, but that's why we have options.
What's interesting too is that with the range, it sounds like Rivian was supposed to be having their vehicle out like in mass production by now. Ford was supposed to be having, when we went to a Ford event back in September, they said that the F-150 Lightning was already rolling off the lines. That's what they told us in person. And now we've heard that they're being delayed till like third, fourth quarter of next year. So, and Rivian hasn't really ramped that up. I mean, they are producing things, but it's, the last I heard, it was just a couple vehicles per day.
Yeah, I think it's not even up to 2 per day.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's interesting that Cybertruck might actually be able to come out at about the same time that those other competitors are coming out as well.
Exactly, which would be huge for Tesla because a lot of people now are like, oh, well, Rivian is going to beat Tesla and the F-150 is going to beat Tesla. But I guess the biggest thing is chip supply and supplies of your other stuff, because if you're only pushing out 1 or 2 vehicles a day, it's going to take a while. So, I mean, that being said, we do still have the reservation in for the Ford. We do still have it in for the Rivian. Will I take delivery of both of those cars? Probably not. If anything, I would say the Rivian is better, in my opinion, than the Ford.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a nicer truck with a lot cooler options and
I agree.
Different, new technology.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what kind of happens with timing. But that's kind of where we are right now. But talking about gigafactories, Giga Berlin supposedly could start mass production in December, aka this month, because they were given the go-ahead to, or should be given the go-ahead, and then like the next week or so to start production, which could be huge because right now they are exporting a lot of vehicles from China for the European market. But if they can just build them in Berlin right there, that means that it would alleviate the Shanghai Gigafactory, and maybe they can start pushing some more stuff to Australia and take care of that general region, with Berlin to kind of take over the European Union and everything.
Yeah, and it's a cool thing. I did see like a map where somebody's tracking like all the different exports from Shanghai to Europe, and there's just like a boat, like every a big ship, shipping container or what? Not a shipping container, but a ship that's used to transport vehicles, and I don't know if there's at least half a dozen of them all just lined up, so they're all like a day or two behind each other.
In Shanghai?
No, from Shanghai going all the way to Europe. You could just see them there's they're kind of all evenly spaced out, all headed towards Europe. So they are definitely going to have a lot of deliveries in Europe from those Chinese deliveries.
And we've already talked about it several times. This just means a better outlook for Tesla because they have several gigafactories, so liabilities are spread between all of them and not just dependent on one factory should something happen in that area or anything like that. So overall, it's definitely a pro. That being said, I've been getting a ton of emails about Model Ys in the US and when they will start receiving some of the Giga Shanghai Model Y upgrades. Those would include things like MCU 3, which now has an AMD processor instead of Intel, makes it a lot snappier. Actually, somebody did a side-by-side on Twitter. I think I retweeted it, and you could really tell the difference, which was kind of interesting because I always have been big on Intel, but I guess it's just the way kind of they're used. But also the Model S Plaid, so Model S refresh and Model X refresh are using AMD as well. So hopefully they're able to do a little bit more with the game side and everything. But now Shanghai Model Ys are using AMD, and they also have a built-in cargo cover, which is something that a lot of people have asked for. Yeah. And so we have aftermarket options from Abstract Ocean and such. And now they're actually incorporating this, which is kind of interesting because, I mean, I would have thought Tesla, if they were going to do something like that, they would have done that from the beginning.
I know, but they were, remember,
'Cause
they
it's
were in a
pretty
rush
easy.
to get it released in
True.
2020, so the factory was shut down, and I can see how, if they needed to reduce parts, a few parts, that they just pushed it out, and they knew that people would buy it anyways, just like the initial car didn't have like a heated steering wheel, and then they added it a few months later, so I think they've just continued to evolve like they always do, adding new features. So it's nice to see that. Hopefully we'll be seeing that on the US version eventually.
Yep. And then we have some CCS news.
Yeah, basically, we've been talking in the past, for the past years, how Tesla has their CHAdeMO adapter. They don't have a CCS adapter available in North America. They did come out with one a couple years ago in Europe that allows you to use CCS there, but they still have not released that in the United States. They released it in South Korea recently, put it up for sale, but still haven't been able to purchase it here in the United States. But we have noticed in some of the latest software updates, I think at 2021.40.6, there's a line, if you go to your software update screen and look at your vehicle information, you can see, and it will tell you whether or not it's CCS capable. So they are definitely making it in the vehicle. You can definitely see if your car is capable or not. It sounds like maybe only 2020 and newer, maybe some 2019s. We don't know the exact cutoff date yet, which will be compatible with that, but we're pretty sure that they're going to be offering a retrofit kit just like they did in Europe. So you'll probably have to pay a couple $100, maybe $300 for the install or upgrade of your charge port, as well as the CCS adapter. But that should allow us to use other charging networks, whether it's Electrify America or EVgo or anyone that has a CCS network. You can basically use that. And while we're still going to stick with the supercharging for a vast majority of our charging on road trips, it's nice to have that option, because sometimes there might be a city that doesn't have a supercharger and they might have CCS. So with this option, if you do pay for it, you will have just more choices.
Yeah, and here's kind of what it looks like. This is from Paul on Facebook. And basically you have this line on CCS adapter support, and this current vehicle says not installed. However, the Refresh S and X's, I believe it will work with them from what I've initially heard. So I haven't gotten my hands on one to try yet, but
we've heard that at least some people in North America have gotten one from South Korea and have tried it out. They said they got like over 110 kilowatts, which is pretty good. It's not 250 kilowatts, but it's much better than the CHAdeMO adapter, which maxes out at like 50 kilowatts. And this is also, the initial release, so it's quite possible that it could be, with software upgrades and stuff, maybe it could support up to like 150 kilowatts at specific stations. So definitely looking forward to getting that, and we'll do a test once we get one.
Definitely. So there's been a lot of talk lately about the tax credits, how that's going to look coming up, because I know a lot of people have been curious whether or not they should take delivery of a vehicle now, wait till 2022, or wait till it's even approved. But as of right now, there's an alternative fuel refueling tax credit.
Yeah, and it sounds like that's been extended for 10 years. And that's something we've taken advantage of in the past. And basically, if you were having to upgrade your electrical system, such as for your garage, and put in some 1450 outlets, or put in a wall connector from Tesla, you can get that installed, and you get a 30% tax credit back on that. So I think there is a limit up to like, I don't remember, it's 3,000 or something like that. If you check out the tax credit, though, you can see. And we got it a couple times, because the first time we upgraded our garage, we put in some 1450 outlets, and we were able to get 30% of that back. And then a couple years later, we went ahead and put in wall connectors, and we upgraded some more of our electrical just to support more kilowatts there in the garage and more amps. And we were able to use the tax credit again. But it does sound like that's getting renewed for 10 years. So that should really help people get their garages and charging infrastructure upgraded at home.
Definitely. So next up, big news for India in terms of the Tesla growth there. A supercharger has been spotted in India. So this is the Tesla Club in India. They actually posted this. These are V2 150 kilowatt paired units with 2 plugs on a stall. So they have Type 2 and CCS 2.
Okay.
Obviously, only one is usable at a time, but they at least have those options, whether it be Model 3 and Y, or maybe even S and X. So this is now in India, and there's been a lot of talk that maybe it will be placed and installed in Mumbai, which, believe it or not, Tesla does have a building there.
Yeah, like corporate headquarters.
A corporate headquarters in Mumbai. So I guess we'll have to see kind of how this looks. But I do think this could be pretty interesting. They have been testing out, from what we have seen, some Model 3s and even a few Ys there. So this could be Tesla breaking into India, which is a huge market for them.
And I know there has been talk, and India's been trying to get a Gigafactory built there as well.
Yep.
So this might be the first step, just start getting the local market supported. And also, I guess, their employees and people that might already own Teslas there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a few that people imported. Kind of happens everywhere.
We've
But
seen that in other countries.
it'll definitely be nice for official support. Real quick, though, Love I Dove I 2012. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, I have a Y with a delivery date of December 11th. Will I qualify if I push back the delivery date to the first of the year, or should I push it back even further? I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's all up in there because we have no
Yeah.
idea. The government needs to finalize that tax credit. And in the past, sometimes it's been retroactive. But
Yep.
it sounds like this one's not going to be retroactive. It sounds like
I saw something-
it's like from January 1st purchases going forward.
I saw something that originally had said May.
That was,
But was that
many
removed?
versions ago.
Okay, so
and
that's
it
been
keeps going
removed.
back and forth between the House and the Senate and stuff. And the current one that I've heard doesn't have that. It has a date of like purchased after January 1st.
Got
I know
it.
a lot of people have put them on hold, but I know a lot of people in the past week or two have gotten emails from Tesla saying that their order will be canceled if they don't, agree to take delivery by a certain date this year. So it sounds like a lot of people are aware of the tax credit and they're trying to delay delivery, but Tesla's telling them like, hey, we want to, deliver it to you this quarter. So
Yeah, so the people I've heard that got that email are people that have like delayed it for over a year.
some of the really old ones, not like recent purchases.
Exactly. So I don't think if it's like a pretty recent, I don't think they would do that. But definitely something to maybe ask your sales associate or advisor how that would work out. Are you allowed to potentially pass on this one and get one in January because you'll be ready then? Definitely something to ask them is what I would do. But again, whether or not it will qualify is going to really depend on how the government words the bill.
And
it's not an easy cut and dry yes or no.
And it's really getting down to the line because we've been talking about this tax credit for probably 8 months.
Yeah.
And it still hasn't happened. I mean, we were back in like March and April saying, oh, the tax credit's coming back. Maybe even back as far as January.
Yeah, I think it was
we
earlier
were
this
talking
year.
about the tax credit coming back, and it still hasn't happened. And we took delivery of one car so far this year. We're going to be taking delivery of another one. Those unfortunately don't qualify because with the new potential tax credit, there are price limits. And so we can't take advantage of it. So we're not concerned about delaying delivery into the next year. But definitely if that's something you need, then I would talk with your sales associate about that.
Definitely. Sorry, we just had some action on the dog cam. It looks like Kit took the bed and now Layden doesn't know where to sleep.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, she's just gonna sit. Oh, she's just gonna sit on him. Okay. Anyway, there's some dog cam action for you guys. Next up, so there's been another update with Starlink. Now I have checked our account, and for us to get Starlink, it says mid 2022, which kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping to have it a lot earlier, but still gonna stay on that wait list for that. But in the meantime, Tesla is planning on adding Starlink to its superchargers.
At least some locations,
Yeah.
it's already been spotted.
I think they've already started
and
in
so
some of the bigger
some people
ones.
have noticed the antenna. It's kind of a big. They used to have the square dish, but
Big dish.
But I think it's changed, or was it round and they made it square? I can't remember, but they went from one to the other. But they have been deploying it at some supercharger locations. And you might say, well, you don't need it because you can already get data via cellular. But in some places, the cellular signal is not that great. Or if you have 50 or 70 Teslas all, trying to use their cellular, right there at a large supercharger site, it might not be able. The cellular network might not be able to handle that, at least not efficiently. So now with Tesla putting some Starlink devices and modems and Wi-Fi hotspots at these locations, it's I think a way maybe Tesla could provide better speeds, but also maybe keep costs down on the data side because they would be providing the data, through Starlink and SpaceX, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely a way for them to control the data cap in that price because as of right now, they go through, I believe it's AT&T.
Yep.
And
at least in the United States, yes.
At least in the U.S., yeah. And I can't imagine what they pay a month for all those vehicles and everything else. It's got to be ridiculous. So this will be nice, an easy way for them to kind of control it a little bit more, which, I mean, you can't say no to that, and just hope that they would pass that cost on to customers. So next up, so we did get 10.6 FSD beta this morning, and we did test it out a little bit. We went up the hill to the casinos today, and overall, I would say it did okay. There were a couple parts that, a couple things I still want to do some more testing on and kind of see if it was truly a progression or maybe even a slight regression. But we still don't have the
active road noise reduction, like which is that's in like the .40.6 or newer, I think, or maybe .5 if you're on the AP. But basically, we don't have the active road noise reduction, and we still don't have waypoints. And that's something we talked about a couple weeks ago. Is waypoints were coming out, and we didn't know, is it a waypoint or multiple ones? It has been confirmed you can add multiple waypoints, but again, we do not have that yet. It's in a later 40.6 release.
Which is kind of a bummer that we're on like FSD beta, but we don't have the
latest features.
Or it's not active noise cancellation anymore.
Road noise reduction.
It's the active road noise reduction. So they have changed it from active noise cancellation to active noise road noise reduction. Wow, that is a mouthful. Anyway, basically it says your vehicle now has the ability to actively reduce low-frequency road noise while driving on rough surfaces. To accomplish this, the system uses the seat microphones to measure the noise in the cabin, then generates anti-noise through the speakers to create quiet zones around the occupants. So it sounds really cool, and I'm super excited to check it out. But unfortunately, since we are in the FSD beta
with the plaid,
we don't qualify for that. So that is one thing going forward. We probably won't have both the new S and the X in FSD beta. We'll probably only keep one of them in, so we can kind of get both sides
releases. Yeah, one
of
could
those
have
releases.
the latest build with the latest releases like this, and the other one could have the latest full self-driving beta.
And it'll also save us $200 a month.
Yes.
So we absolutely love that. But also for waypoints, the ability to share the car directly in the app.
Oh, that's something different. So that's not waypoints.
That's not waypoints.
But basically,
just
waypoints has been added. But people have said, you know, it works. It's good. They finally added it after like 10 years of asking for it. But it's not the best interface, just because you can't easily move them around, or you can't.
Not like you can on Google Maps.
Yeah, it's not as easy. You can't just drag it. You kind of have to put them in there in a certain order. So it's the first version. It's better than nothing. Enjoy it. And I'm sure they'll improve it in the future. But as Eric just mentioned too, their latest release of the app actually has the ability so you can share your car with others directly in the app. So that's some functionality they've had for years available on the website.
Yeah.
They're just moving a lot of functionality from the website so that you can do it directly in the app. And we've seen that recently with other functionality, like taking delivery of vehicles now. A lot of that information, like for your insurance and scheduling your appointment, all this stuff is now available in the app. But this latest thing is to add the ability to share your car, and you can share it with up to 5 people, just like on the website. You basically just put in their email address, and then they can go into their account, and they can have, almost full access to the vehicle. They can't get into your account, so they can't like change credit cards or anything like that, or make purchases. Fortunately, they removed that ability once we reported that. But basically, it makes it easier to share your car.
Yep. I think that's basically it for the news that we have.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we missed a few things because it's been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple weeks.
A lot of stuff has happened as we talked. That the stock price has gone way up, gone way down, and stuff. But a lot of things have happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. So if there's anything in the news that you wanted to chat about, or any questions you might have, or anything you particularly want to chat about, drop it in chat, and we will do our best to try to get to as many things as possible.
I'm sure we've heard of it and have an opinion about it. We just might have forgotten it. It didn't make the list today.
True.
But we'll definitely discuss it.
Let's see. Rob had a good question. If V11 was released and it was incredible, would you consider dropping FSD and lose beta to get V11?
Well, yeah, the thing is, too, we're expecting delivery of the Model S in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So that car will have whatever the latest version is. And as Eric said, we're not going to have FSD beta on that anytime soon, or FSD. So I think that will be the car that will keep it on instead of the Plaid.
Yeah. Let's see. Going through some things. Decortur. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. It said my 2017 camera upgrade for FSD got delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Center column camera not in stock and unknown when they will get any in. So I was afraid of that.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the past because people noticed when the first full self-driving beta came out a month or two back that no cars that originally had Autopilot 2 had them were getting the beta, and so people started tweeting Elon, and they finally admitted that a camera upgrade was required, and we knew that since Autopilot 2.5 they did upgrade the cameras to be what RCCB instead of RCCC cameras, and we still have the S100D, which has originally was Autopilot 2. We did get it upgraded to Autopilot 3, full self-driving computer. We upgraded the side repeater cameras ourselves, but we still haven't upgraded that triple camera up in the front. So Tesla, Elon did say that they will be offering free upgrade for those repeater cameras and the triple camera. Some people have gotten those. They've been notified. Unfortunately, if you go to the website, it says they're going to base it upon, your Tesla safety score. And I haven't heard of anybody getting invites in the last couple of weeks. Several people have gotten updates, but they still don't have the FSD beta. So it's like, I think there's still some software changes required on Tesla's end before they're going to turn it on. So the only thing that's different now is going to be if you get those cameras and you have full self-driving computer, you still don't have that interior camera, and it's possible that whatever software they have out there now that does driver monitoring, it might require that interior camera, and they're not installing that yet. So they're either going to have to change the driver monitoring to not use that camera, or they're going to have to do yet another retrofit.
I wonder how that's going to work, because that's a good point, is that interior camera. How are they going to retrofit it, or are they going to change it? The wiring's
not there, and the connectors aren't there. So it's not going to be easy. For the other cameras, they can just pop them on, and you get the new color. We've done that. We have a video where we upgraded them on the S100D. But for that interior camera, if that's going to be required, that's going to be more work. And I just know a lot of people are frustrated. We still haven't gotten the invite to have our S100D upgraded as yet either. But we do have the Tesla safety score enabled for that one. So, and it's still in the 90s. I don't know the exact score, but haven't gotten the invite on yet. But we will keep you informed when we do.
Yep. Let's see. Tom, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, welcome back, fellas. 4 months in, and I love my plaid more every day. Thanks for all the great live streams and videos. Awesome. Thanks so much. I can't say enough. I do really love plaid.
And we've had ours about 4 months too.
Yeah.
Or just shy
of that. I just wish it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah.
But I could probably say that about everything in life.
Yeah.
But the plaid is ridiculous. There's nothing better than punching it.
Speaking of plaid, pull up your picture that you took today.
Oh.
So basically.
Okay, you talk real quick.
So
and
basically,
I'll pull that up.
And so we're glad to have the plaid. We've had it almost 4 months because we picked ours up in August. We were hoping, since we had ordered it in September of last year, we were going to get one of those when they had started deliveries in June. But unfortunately, we didn't get ours until August. And unfortunately, we did have to change the interior to get the black instead of white. But the other Model S that we have on order is going to have that white interior. But they're both nice. We're just waiting on the white one.
It is currently updating. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so Eric's trying to.
I'm sending something to my computer so I can show you guys. So 1 second. But thanks so much again, Tom, for the $10 super chat. I really do appreciate that. Let me see where I was. Cham said, the Matrix headlights are now legal in the U.S. I did read about that.
Something a couple weeks. Yeah, but
that's huge.
Unfortunately, any cars that have already been built, I don't know. Do they have
that ability?
Or is it like a software upgrade? Do they already have the new hardware? Because we know that like in other countries they have different hardware, or they do have that functionality. So is that something that we have on the cars that are built in the United States, or is that coming soon? We don't know yet. But that's cool because people have been asking for that for a while. I know I saw that at the Giga Berlin like open houser thing they had a couple months back. They had a demonstration of those headlights and showing how they could do a projector, and they spelled out kind of like Tesla.
Yeah.
With the Matrix lights. So definitely neat to see that because you can have much brighter like high beams, but still not blind oncoming traffic.
Yeah, which would be nice because I have noticed if you're in FSD beta, you have to have auto high beams on, and the car sometimes will do a lot of turning them on and off and on and off and on and off. So, yeah, unfortunately. Brendan said, did you guys cover the possible retrofits to the new infotainment? If you're referring to the new Model Y with the AMD instead of the Intel processor, My guess would be, I just don't know the compatibility of that yet.
Also, it's still so. I mean, MCU2, like Model Y, is still only a year old, so I don't see them doing that anytime soon.
A retrofit, I think, would be a lot more changing processors, but it is all enclosed into one computer, so maybe it would be okay. How much are those from Tesla though? Aren't they several $1,000s?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked on the price on that because this is the new one that just came out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I would guess it'd probably be like $4 or $5 grand.
And we know that in the past when Tesla did the upgrade from MCU1 to MCU2 on the S and X, it's because those older computers they have had a much smaller memory. You know, it was only like 8 gigabytes, and the way they were logging to it, it was like wearing out the memory way too quickly. And Tesla realized, yeah, we need to offer an upgrade, and then they, besides just being able to upgrade the MCU, they made it so that you could just have the daughter board of the memory replaced. The Model Y just came out; it's still got a fairly new processor and MCU, so I don't see them upgrading it anytime soon. Plus, there's a lot more MC2 vehicles out there. Back with the older MCU1, there's a couple 100,000, but now there's like 1 million something MCU2. So I think they're still going to be supporting MCU2 for a long time to come.
I agree. Hopefully, they can make it a little bit snappier.
And again, if you look at MCU1 to MCU2, the comparison was amazing on how fast it is. MCU2 is still really fast.
Yeah.
It's just the MC3 is just even faster.
Yep. Okay, so I got my picture, and if you follow me on Twitter, I posted it there earlier today, but I got my license plate for the Plaid Model S. And so I normally do Derek and then S or X or 3 or Y, depending on what vehicle it's going on. But since we have the Derek S plate on the other car, this is what I did.
Surprise.
Get it? Because it's a Plaid Model S. I know, it's not very original, but here we are. I was surprised it was available, so I went ahead and snatched it up. So that is the new plate for the Plaid Model S. Michael, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, guys, love the channel. Are you planning to test the sexy buttons from Abstract Ocean for your Tesla? Yes, I actually have them upstairs.
We have them someplace, yeah.
Mine were delayed a bit compared to everybody else's, so everybody else got their video up real quick. But I do have them, and I plan on making a video. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing it in a Model 3.
3, yeah.
Mando said, new 2022 Tesla Model Y performances and now come with a Michelin Pilot all-season 4 tires from the factory.
Nice.
Thank God for that, because you can't deliver... I understand it's a performance car, but you can't deliver that in the winter with performance tires.
At least in lots of the United States. I can see in Texas or Florida, maybe that's okay. True. But in a lot of states, north of Kansas or Colorado, you definitely need something that's safe in colder weather.
And the last thing you want to do is be like, here's your brand new $70,000 car. Have some tires that will sell you for another $1,200 or $1,600. They're like $400 a piece, so they're not cheap. But that's awesome to see. John said, my order for Model Y, February delivery, the VIN is ready. How do I have to pay for insurance while I wait for the car?
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. I mean, you don't pay for insurance until you actually get the car.
Yeah.
You can talk with your insurance company about it, but don't tell them you want to pay for it until you actually take delivery.
And most insurance companies, I don't know if Dan's here in chat, but I believe most insurance companies, you have 3 or 4 business days.
It depends on the state.
Does it?
It depends on the state. So some places they have to have that on their policy. Other places like Colorado, you have a little leeway where as long as you have insurance, it's covered. Your new car is covered. So definitely check with your local insurance company. But you shouldn't be paying any insurance on a car.
At least until it's ready for
until
pickup.
you have it.
Yep. Let's see. Amy said, did I miss the puppy cam? Yes, you did, but here we go. They are working hard.
Yes, it's funny because, again, late in here knows exactly when it's time to come down to work because I get my drink ready and she's like, oh, and she just leads me downstairs and she was ready to go back to work today. She's had a nice vacation, but she's hard at work again today.
Yep. Let's see. Dan coming in the chat with the $66. Holy crap, Dan. Thank you so much. Said Tesla watched 366 days and thought... And
so it's just
though
over a
they
year.
said by the end of the year, I'm not holding my breath. All financing confirmed. Going to sort the paperwork tomorrow. Off to Chile on the 17th.
Nice.
Yeah. So you have my number. Just let me know if there's anything I need. And we are happy to pick it up for you. And then we will put it here in our garage and live stream it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool if it got here in time for you when you get back from Chile. That would be really cool. And I saw your recent vacation, and I'm very jealous.
Yeah.
It looked like a lot of fun in Costa Rica.
But thanks again for the super chat. Nice. Very generous.
Double confetti for that one. Thanks so much, Dan. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. Don said for the interior camera, could it be installed when the center camera is upgraded? Maybe. It really depends all about that wiring harness.
Yeah, and again, they could totally redo stuff, but
Yeah.
I think there's individual cables, right, for each camera. And so now if you're going to add a new camera, there's no cable going through there. So with the current triple camera that's up there, there's already the wiring. You just unplug, the 3 cameras, plug in the new one. If you're going to add a new camera, you need a 4th cable, unless there's some way to...
And the new replacement housing. And
Yeah. But they could do that. But it's like, but the problem is that cable's not there. They could definitely run a new cable and stuff, but that's going to take a lot more time. So it remains to be seen. Are they going to do a software solution and just say, hey, if they're on these older vehicles, don't use the interior camera? But that's going to lead to a lot of maybe more nags, hold onto the steering wheel, stuff like that. Because that's one thing they've added, to the new modification, or the new monitoring, is it can see if you're looking at your phone or doing other stuff, and maybe that will allow them to reduce the level of nags going forward. But for these cars without an interior camera, they're going to need to figure something out.
Yep. Well, Steve right after that actually said no cabin camera in the Plaid either, right? Or did they add it for future cars? So they have added it to the Plaid and the Refresh X as well. And the interesting thing about those 2 vehicles that they haven't done in 3 and Y yet is they actually added 2 IR blasters behind the plastic so that you can actually, or Tesla can actually see when it is dark out. They can see the passengers and what they're actively doing. So that is one thing. I showed it in a video because the only way to actually see the IR blasters is to record that, take my camera and record their camera. That's really the only way to see it due to it not really being visible to the naked eye.
That brings up a good point though, because that didn't come out until the new S and X.
Yeah.
So the older, 3 and Y, which the Y just came out last year, it doesn't have those either. So are they going to have to retrofit the 3 and Y to have those as well?
Potential.
Who knows? It's like they keep upgrading it, but they're still selling the full self-driving software, but older hardware is out there. They're gonna either need to upgrade the hardware or change the functionality or provide refunds.
Something, yeah. Chris Tackle, welcome. Glad you could join. Said, I wonder if the crab walk feature will be programmed with the auto park. Hopefully they also had a feature where you can set it to automatically take you out of a parking spot. Yeah,
that would be cool because that would make really parking a lot easier because you could just slide sideways. I've seen some demos of like parallel parking. You could just slide sideways, and there's cars that had this back in the 80s, or at least prototypes. But they showed that you could just slide into the parking space and that.
Now one thing with the Hummer that has that and some other cars is they could only go 10 degrees. So, but it could still angle you in and
maybe
angle
not
you
totally
out.
90 degrees in, but yeah, it's a lot easier to go into a parallel space.
Definitely.
And I think too, though, you're calling it crab walk, and that's what I think Hummer calls it.
That's what the Hummer called it.
That's not what Rivian called it. But they do have a similar functionality with 4-wheel steering on Rivian.
Technically, it is called 4-wheel steering. Crab walk, I believe, is Hummer's trademark thing. So, don't sue me, but yeah, there we are. Let's see. Robert said, my parents live in Colorado Springs, want to get solar for their home, but have concerns about the weather, snow, hail, etc. Have y'all had any issues? 0. I wouldn't worry about hail because these panels are really built.
Or if you get solar roof too.
Although Colorado Springs did have some crazy hail 2 years ago at the zoo, and it totaled a ton of cars. That hail I think will mess up anything. But in terms of snow, we have no problems. The only thing we do, again, you don't have to though, is we have a snow rake. And so when it is done snowing and there's still snow on the roof, but the sun is out, we can go out there with the snow rake, pull the snow off, and start generating electricity ourselves. Again, though, that's not something you have to do. That's something we choose to do to help maximize the useful solar power instead of just having it kind of go to waste.
Yeah, because some days, most of the time here in Colorado, our snow will melt off within a day or so, but sometimes it's a little cold or you might have a little bit of shade, and if we don't get rid of that initial snow, it might be up there for a week, and we don't want to go without solar production for a week. So luckily we have let's see, we have 5 different arrays on our house and garage, and of those we can access like 3 of them pretty easily. But one of the easiest one is just over our garage, and we can just pull a little bit of snow off there, and the rest will just slide off because the panels are just the right angle, and just with a little bit of moisture, a little bit of heat, it'll just slide right off, kind of have a little mini avalanche, and it clears off all those panels. So we have 16 panels right there out of our 61 panels, and then the other garage, it's a different angle, but we were able to clear those off as well. But we can clear off almost half of our panels just by using that roof rake, and then that lets us still do pretty good production in the winter. Better than being covered with snow for the whole week. So definitely, we don't worry about hail either. We haven't had any huge hailstorms here up in the Denver area in the last few years, but Elon did show, especially with their latest solar roof, that they're very, very strong. And he shows them like shooting giant hailstones at the solar roof panels, and they did fine. Solar roof shingles, I guess, is what they were.
And that is one thing I'm still trying to get a hold of, some of those shingles, so that I can try my own hail test. Hopefully I can get some of those soon to try that, because that's one thing I really want to do. Let's see. Chris said, what do you guys do to keep being able to order Teslas like it's nothing? Well, I mean, we aren't keeping them all. We get a new one, and then we do sell the other one. So it's not like... I mean, we've spent a lot with Tesla, but we've gotten a lot of that back through selling the old vehicles.
And also back in the day, there was the federal tax credit. It was like $7,500, and there was a state tax credit in Colorado. It was $6,000 at times. So it used to be you would get like $13,500 back on a car. More recently, we're down to only $2,500. So it's really only covering what the registration, which is quite expensive in Colorado.
Very expensive.
But we don't have them all in the garage. We, like you said, we sell them after we've used them for a year or 6 months, whatever.
Yep. Let's see. Amy said, I love high beaming the big truck driving around here by accident while in beta, LOL, but shh, don't tell Roger. Oh.
Oops.
You didn't hear that, Roger. That wasn't your Amy. That was someone else. Just random comment. Let's see. Michael said, I'm hoping Model S lasts until the truck comes when it's on its last leg right now, and the leg has a cast on it.
Uh-oh.
LMAO. Oh my God, what's wrong with the Model S? Please do tell. Let's see. Helmut said, have an issue with my Model X right now. Got it towed because it doesn't recognize the key fob. Phone app is connecting and everything works, but start the car through the app. No phone support on Sundays. That's weird, because it won't recognize the key fob.
Yeah, I've heard somebody else had that problem, either key fob. So it wasn't just like a battery issue. It was just for some reason. So I don't know if it was a software update or what, but I saw somebody else had that issue recently as well.
Yee. Yikes. Well, hopefully they can get that fixed out for you real quick. Arash said, how much do you think the quad motor will be? 70 or K or 90K? I mean, David had a really good call that maybe it'll be like 79.9 because that'll come right in under the tax credit amount, which would be ideal.
That's wishful thinking.
And that's if they don't change it anymore, which they could always do.
But like I said, too, we've seen Tesla raise prices on all of the models over the past year. I mean, the S has gone up like 18,000 or more.
Yeah.
And, the Plaid, the X, and the Y, the 3, they've all gotten their prices increased. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cybertruck, had some increases as well.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Definitely.
But hopefully they can at least have a version right below that 80,000 so that you'll still be able to get the tax credit on those.
Yep. Pierre, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, will FSD beta still be in my car if I decide to unsubscribe over the winter and resubscribe in March and April? I have reached out to a few people on this question and have never gotten a solid answer. So unfortunately, I don't know. I would say worst case, you might have to go through the process again.
Requalify. Yeah, and that's one thing we've been talking about too, is taking delivery of the new Model S and the new Model X over the next couple of months, is that we're going to have to probably requalify for those vehicles, because we still have the Model S100D, and as we know, it doesn't have it because it hasn't had the cameras upgraded, but will it have it ever? We don't know. So.
Yeah, and that's one thing... sorry about that. It's one thing I'll probably test as soon as we get the long range. Maybe I'll test that. Because no one's given me a solid answer, and I've had a lot of people ask about that, and I myself am curious about that. So maybe we'll test it as soon as we get that vehicle. Chris said, I have a 2022 Model Y Performance on order for delivery in January, trading in the S100D. I think that is a valid upgrade. The Model Y is great. The S is really great, but I'm really happy with Model Y. If you could get air suspension on a Model Y, that would definitely be the hands down like top winner for me. It's still great, don't get me wrong, but having air suspension is really nice. NA said, we have the same license plate as them. They have a Plaid S as well in California, so we matchy match.
Wow, nice.
That's cool. Tweet me a photo, and we can. Yeah,
that'd be cool. I
tweeted out the photo earlier, so if you have the same plate, definitely like comment on there that photo or whatever. That'd be funny. Peter said, have you noticed the Model Y Performance does not come with the red brake calipers anymore? It doesn't?
I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
That's something else we didn't mention, though, is that the, speaking of brakes, we haven't talked about the Model S Plaid.
Somebody just mentioned that in chat.
Upgrade.
That's funny. It doesn't? Really?
Why did the lights change? Do you see the lights changed as well?
The front lights?
Yeah.
Oh! What's up with that? Did anybody else see that?
Are those the Matrix lights?
Look at the front
lights?
Look at the front lights.
Are those just the old lights and they're getting the new ones that...
Or is it just because it's raising and lowering it slightly due to the wheels?
I know, but it's a rendering, so it shouldn't... there's no real camera or whatever, so I think those are different
I don't know. That's actually a good call. Maybe. Yeah, there's... Or wait, no, it still looks red. It's still red. It's still red. Yeah, see, I see red. It's very dark, though. I mean, I'm curious about those lights
has
now.
he seen them that have some that have actually been delivered?
Yeah.
It's possible they haven't updated the website yet. And
True.
So let us know, if you've seen some getting delivered, because that's something originally the Plaid S was supposed to have those red ones, and then when they started deliveries, they didn't have them.
Yep, and that rolls perfectly into what Mark said, which, by the way, I'm like 15 minutes behind on chat. We're working through it. Mark said Tesla now has new carbon ceramic performance brakes for Plaid, and they are $20,000. Yeah, so I tweeted out whether or not I should buy them once they hit the store.
Did a little poll there.
And I did a little poll there, tweeted out if I should buy them or not, and Elon actually responded and just said yes. So I guess Elon has spoken, and I will now have to buy $20,000 brakes, given I still have the car then, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so we got to see if that's going to be worth it, because...
if I have a Plaid, I will definitely buy the brakes, because otherwise Elon's going to be like, oh, he didn't buy the brakes when I told him to, so we're going to just cut him off. So, yeah, I saw those, and I am very excited for them. Carbon ceramic brakes are amazing. Let's see. Chris said, I sold my P85 because the prices were good now and the waiting begins for the Model Y. Ordered in early October. Ooh, what is your estimated delivery date? Is it like April? I bet it's like April. That's going to be a long time. Let's see.
Yeah, I think the performance-wise are coming a little bit quicker, but the long-range ones are still taking a while.
Yep. Tesla Tim said, got to go to work. Have a good night. Hopefully, wow, that's a late shift. Hopefully you have a good shift. Let's see. Dan said, if you have current insurance that has collision and comprehensive, you can drive off the lot with a new car, and that coverage will extend to your new vehicle for up to 30 days in Colorado.
So definitely some states have a lot
30
better.
days, though?
Yeah. So
I thought it was like a few days. 30 is awesome.
Gives you time to get things taken care of. We always call our insurance agent anyways. As soon as we get our VIN and we have an appointment scheduled, we call her and tell her, hey, we're going to pick this up. But it's nice that you do have a few days to figure that out.
Yeah.
I know in other states, though, you have to already have it on your insurance before you pick it up.
Yep. Dan did say, however, I would suggest that you ask your agent to start coverage on the date of your delivery so that in the event of a covered loss, you will not have to jump through hoops with claims adjusters.
It makes it a lot easier,
Yep. Abstract Ocean here in chat said, TikTok is full of Tesla phone rumors. Likely just BS, right?
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
So
Scott was even asking us about that.
That was talked about way back in the day. And Elon even responded to the rumors about the phone and the watch and said, there's no future in those devices. The future is in like AI, basically. And what's his Neuralink?
Yeah.
That's what he said the future's in. So personally, I don't think a phone would ever happen. Should it happen, I will definitely buy it. Now,
Definitely, yeah.
question though. If it happened and it was a collaboration between Apple and Tesla, and it was an iPhone but Tesla branded, would we?
Probably not.
Oh no, you heard it here
Only thing
first.
is, I've seen some of those TikToks though, and they're like, people
Yeah.
are like, oh, it's coming out, and it's going to be based on Starlink. Well, guess what? Currently, you still have to have a big
satellite for
dish
Starlink.
or whatever, or, antenna, and so you're not going to be able to just have a little phone that does that. So if that's going to be the case, they would then have to have Starlink, kind of like we were talking about all the superchargers. They would have to have Starlink ground stations everywhere that then tie into the cellular network, and so that's going to be a huge expense. So
Yeah.
that's not going to happen anytime soon. If they did come out with a true like satellite phone that did work with Starlink, that would be amazing. But I think that's still a ways away.
I have a confession though. If Tesla collaborated with Apple on a phone, I would probably buy it. But I would still keep my Android as my daily. So yeah, confession time. John Irwin said the newer panels in colder climates have heaters in them available.
Oh, nice. That's
That's
interesting.
really nice.
Yeah, that's something they didn't have. But we've been looking at some other options, but that would be nice because you don't need a lot. You just need a little bit just to keep it slightly warm. It's just,
just above freezing, so it
also
slides off.
Keep it to slide off, or even just to keep it from accumulating to begin with.
Black House Brew said, do you think they'll make a cyber van? Didn't Elon tweet something about that, saying
He did say that was
they would
coming.
like to make something that's like more handicap accessible?
Yeah, and
wheelchair
also
accessible?
we talked about though with like the Boring Company and Las Vegas and stuff like that. They're currently using like Model 3s and stuff to drive people around. But that would be an ideal if they've got a 50-year contract to provide those services in Las Vegas. It only makes sense they should use higher occupancy vehicles, and so I think a van would be something they could take to Vegas first. So maybe we'll be seeing that there soon.
And that's a great spot for them to test those vehicles. It really would be. Mando, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said Cyberquad truck 10K or subscribe for FSD.
We're still not gonna.
I'm still probably gonna end up subscribing.
Yeah,
I think that's the safest.
In the
bet
past,
for me.
as we've told you, we spent I think $66,000 on full self-driving and autopilot over the last like 13 Teslas.
Yeah.
We didn't buy it on all of those, but on the vehicles we did, it was $66,000, and that's because there was no subscription option. And since we do go through cars pretty quickly, we didn't really get our money's worth on any of those. And some of the cars were bought and sold, and we never had full self-driving on them. So we do still have the S100D. We did pay full price, which at the time was like $5,000 for enhanced autopilot and $3,000 for full self-driving. So that car is still going to be our, at least for the plan, for the time being, is our long-term car that we will have paid for it. But going forward, I just don't see that we'd ever get 10,000 or 12,000. And if they keep raising the price, there's no way we'd ever get our money's worth if we only keep the cars for a year or two.
Yep, I agree.
Especially too with like the amount of driving I've been doing recently, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I could get by paying like $200 once a year, for a month, and that would be enough for me, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael, thank you so much for the kind words. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Jonathan said, I have extra Tesla solar roof shingles. If you want, you can contact me.
Oh.
Jonathan, if you can email me, I think it's admin@teslainventory.com, or alternatively, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, if you DM me on any of those places, I will buy those up because I've wanted to do a test on those for so long, and I think that would be really cool. I want to see what it takes to truly break those things. I already have a metal ball. I'm ready for this. Thank you, though. Definitely reach out somehow. I don't know how I can contact you, but you can contact me through those avenues. Let's see. Mark said Cybertruck quad motor 80,000 likely, which is right what you said, right? 79.9.
Yeah.
So just to squeak by.
Hopefully.
Now is that
Crossing my
with
fingers.
options though? Because white interior is going to be
I
$1,500
know.
bucks. What if white interior puts us
up at the
too
limit.
expensive and we wouldn't get it?
I know.
Would you get black interior for that?
I suppose
That's $7,500 bucks.
because you could
maybe
save $7,500
or more.
or more. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
We'll see though, because the tax credit will hopefully by then the tax credit will finally be.
Look, I have a
finalized.
zoom feature now. We can go zoom or we can go here. I kind of like the zoom. We're a little bit bigger. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Chame said, David looking good lately. P90X.
Oh, wait, thanks. I have been doing some pull-ups.
Wait,
this
you
week.
know what that is, right? The workout program?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not been doing P90X, but I've done a little bit more exercises at home here the past few months. So
There you have it, folks. Let's see.
thanks for noticing.
Melody said, I have FSD beta and my 2018X. I don't have the interior camera. Correct. But will that interior camera be required is what we kind of don't know yet.
Yeah.
So, if it does, it's going to take quite a bit of work, I think, for them to retrofit those.
Yeah. Or are they just going to do a software update and say, okay, ignore the camera, they don't have a camera, and allow them to finally have full self-driving beta.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Let's see. Yeo said you can melt snow using hot water or an electric heater automatically. Yeah. That just takes a lot more work. And I don't want to be throwing hot water or have to pipe something in. And hooking up electric heaters would be more of a pain. If they could just like reverse the flow at a very low rate. Because really when it's snowing, you're probably not getting any solar anyway. We want the panels to be cleared for right when the snow is finished because normally the sun comes out. That's what it is for us.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mark said you can get Model Y air suspension at a garage. You can do it aftermarket. However, aftermarket systems are never as good as an OEM built into the computer.
Yeah, it's just
adjustable
not the same,
system.
like via the app and stuff like that.
Exactly.
They might have their own app and all that, but it's just not all integrated.
It's the integration that I really like. And unfortunately, there's no super easy way to integrate it into the UI of the Model Y, for instance. You can have little toggles and everything, but it's never as pretty overall. Helma said, by the way, I got the FSD update overnight and the key fob stopped working after the first drive. Even stranger, we were able to unlock dead key fob method, but even sitting inside, it won't start even after a reboot.
I wonder if
that
it was
sounds
a
like
software,
a weird software
I wonder if it's
bug.
a software bug. So do you know, are your fobs like the original V1 ones, or are they the newer ones that came out? Because original ones didn't have the like high encryption, and so Tesla was having problems, especially like in Europe, where people would like using antennas to kind of sniff for your key fob talking to your car, and they would replicate that signal and be able to steal your car. So Tesla came out with newer fobs, and I'm wondering if this is just a software issue related to something messed up with your car can't talk to your fobs anymore. So hopefully they'll get you some new fobs or get that fixed, but that seems suspicious if you just got the update.
Yeah, I bet it was the update that somehow broke that connection. Mark said I paid for FSD on my 2017 model or 2017 100D. It had better be available sooner rather than later. Amen.
Yeah. We know where you come from.
Same situation.
Over like 4.5 years, we've been waiting on that vehicle, and it's definitely come a long way since it first came out with the first enhanced autopilot features, and it's so nice on the highway now. But we don't have that full self-driving functionality yet, around town.
Yeah. Michael said the charge port pin got bent somehow, and his driver's side headlight is aiming up, so people keep thinking he's high beaming them. Isn't there a way to adjust the positioning through the center
I know
console?
on some vehicles they do have an aim headlights. I don't know if they all have that, but I know
I can't remember if it was in
the 3 and the Y.
service screen or if it was when we got access to the
I think there's an
back
option.
end.
Yeah, I think there's an option in that everybody can do, like in the 3 and the Y. I don't think it's on the S and the X. But
I don't remember what Michael has, but maybe try that if you have a 3 or Y. Let's see.
And the Crimson Decade is saying performance, get the projector. So that's when we were looking through and you were toggling on the car.
Yep.
And I told you the headlights look differently.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, are you saying what Chris said too?
Yeah. Oh, Chris said the same thing.
Crimson
Okay,
and Chris both said that. So it looks like those headlights are different due to the performance getting the matrix. God, now I want a Model Y.
And you just
again.
sold your Model Y a couple months ago.
Now I want a Model Y again.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Anyway, here we are. As soon as I get my Model X, I think I'll get over the Model Y. But until then, I'm really gonna want a Model Y again. Mark said, seriously, why should people who paid for FSD years ago be waiting when people who are just now getting Teslas are getting it? I felt the same way.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about, Mark, because it doesn't make sense that, I mean, I can understand people buying a car and getting it after 2 weeks, but that's not fair to people who've been waiting like 4.5. Some people have been waiting 5 years, because full self-driving was for sale as of like October 2016, and we started buying. We had an Autopilot 2 car in December 2016, and another one from March 2017. Then we later bought another 2017 in December, and which we since sold. But that car never got any full self-driving functionality. And we're still waiting for it on the S100D, and it's kind of sad that some people have been waiting 4.5 years, and then you have to go through the hoops of doing the safety score and all this stuff. When other people go buy a car, put 100 miles on it, and they instantly got the beta.
Yeah, I was pretty upset when all that rolled out for that reason.
Yeah.
Because I saw people get a Plaid, their first ever car, and then within a week got it. And I was like, well,
I mean, that's good for you. We're not mad you got it. We're just upset we still haven't got it. We've been waiting 4.5, 5 years.
Exactly. Let's see. Chris said, I watched so many reviews saying Model Y performance is terrible and uncomfortable suspension. Really can't believe they didn't throw air suspension for a 65K car. I mean, I wouldn't say it's terrible and uncomfortable. I mean, having owned one, I thought it was actually pretty good.
And it's nice, but
it's just not air.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference if you do have the S or X and you ride, like we can sit in one and the other. You can definitely tell the S and X are more comfortable, especially with the new Raven suspension or the refreshed 2021 suspension.
Yeah.
But the Y was still really nice. We still drove it all around. That was our daily driver.
I mean, it went to California.
Yep.
It went all over. I love the Y. Don't get me wrong. I still think the Y is the best overall Tesla for the money
most
that
versatile,
you can buy.
Yeah. For room and cargo.
Are there
and this,
other models that might be better suited for you? Yeah, probably. But the all-around, well-rounded vehicle that's kind of a little bit of usefulness for like everything, that would be the one. If I could only get one, it would probably be the Y. Yep. Let's see. Pierre said, do the brakes come with active spoiler? Unfortunately, not at this point, at least.
Nice. Yeah.
That's going to require an entirely replacement hatch. And in the Model S, the hatch has the glass on it. So you're probably going to need new glass. If they do active spoiler and they're willing to retrofit it, my guess would be at least $10K.
Yeah. And we do know, though, from personal experience that they can, if you do have to get a new hatch, they can move the other parts all over.
And they'll just break it most of the time.
Yeah, hopefully they don't. But basically, when I took delivery of my S90D back in December of 2016, they found a minor problem with the clear coat on the on the paint, and they basically just ordered the hatch, and then they tried moving over as many of the other parts as they could. But yeah, I think they might have had a problem with something. I don't remember.
I think they broke your glass.
The glass, something like that, so that they had to actually do a new piece there. But it's possible, they might be able to reuse something.
It might be, but I'm still thinking like $10K for active retrofit, probably. That'd be my guess.
If it ever happens, yeah.
Let's see. Otis said my wife picked up her Model Y with an 1121 build. Wonder if she has the new headlights. Was it a performance or an all-wheel drive? Because currently it looks like only performance are getting it. But maybe if it is a performance, if you're on Twitter, tweet me a photo or send me a message with the photo, and maybe we can try to see what we can see. Douglas said I got a Model Y in October that I ordered in June. That's not too bad of a wait. But congrats on your Model Y. That's exciting. Jennifer said it'd be great if Tesla made bright glow-in-the-dark seat belts. That would help first responders and drivers to see who's buckled up quicker, even in low light. That might be kind of distracting, though, wouldn't it? Maybe a little bit. Depends how glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, I'd have to see it, I guess, to see.
Yeah. But I'm all about glow-in-the-dark. That sounds fun. Mark said a stock Tesla Plaid did 8.994 second quarter mile with Dodsworth in Maryland. So I wouldn't call it stock because that whole thing was gutted, like majorly gutted. But otherwise, yes, it was stock. It did have a roll cage and a parachute on the back. But otherwise, the interior was pretty darn gutted. No performance mods that I know of. Dan said would love a Tesla treadmill and rowing machine. Have it work like regen braking. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. That actually might get me to work out more. Not gonna lie. Fred's Model 3 said got a new Model Y computer last week, still using the Intel Atom chip. Fred, San Diego. So yeah, my guess would be that any kind of Model Ys
yeah.
like repair or like
They're just going to
replace.
use existing hardware, or same hardware. Yeah.
Exactly, because I wonder if they would have to do any kind of update. Would it be on like a different branch of code?
Yeah,
Or
that's the thing that's why we're still seeing like they haven't.
separate branches?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Roger said no fruit phones. Right there with you, Roger. I agree. Let's see. Chris said it would be insane with iOS on it, but of course it would probably be Android or their own OS. Wouldn't do well, even though I'd buy one to try. I mean, I've been really happy with Android. Just saying. Real quick though, John is here tonight. Happy to see you, John. With the $5 super chat, said definitely get mud flaps on the Model Y. The front mud flap kept the slush off the side of the car since we've gotten snow today. Yeah, I actually did a video on that because I was curious to see how aftermarket mud flaps would compare with Tesla ones, and I was flabbergasted.
Yes. Yeah.
Word of the day. With how big of a difference the aftermarket performed compared to the Tesla OEM ones. And I think it's because they are a little bit wider, they stick out a little bit more, and they stick out up a little bit more. But you could see the difference on the sides that I did them on, how much the aftermarket ones kept all the slush and crap off the side of the car. I was really impressed with it. But I definitely would get mud flaps on a Model Y regardless. To be honest, I would probably do it on any car here in Colorado with the winters the way they are.
Speaking of which, though, we haven't really had any snow. We had a little bit of snow right before Thanksgiving, but it didn't hit out at the airport, so they still are not saying that. You know, Denver's gone, I don't know, it's almost a record number of months, almost 9 months without snow. So it's like we definitely need the moisture.
It's crazy dry here, so yeah. Diego said guesstimate on how much the adult quad will be. 10K?
I have no idea. I'd have to look and see how much other ones cost.
I don't know how much a regular quad is, but I would say probably about 10K would be my thought. Michael said, even though I thought I would never get it, do you think it's odd that the YN3 don't offer cream interior?
I never really thought of that.
I didn't either. That's a really good question.
I never thought about that.
Okay, so I might get yelled at for this, so bear with me, folks. I think cream interior tends to be purchased by an older audience. And
maybe those are the ones who are buying the S.
I would say that people buying
S
S and X
yeah,
might want that option a little bit more so than
generally,
a
yeah.
That's a generalization. Don't take it the wrong way. I personally would not buy cream. Personal preference. But to each their own. That's a great question though, why they don't offer it in the 3 and the Y. I've never actually thought about it.
Didn't even think about that, yeah.
Mark Plott said, Mando, if keeping the vehicle for 5+ years, buy it. If keeping it for under 4 years, subscribe. But I mean, technically you don't necessarily need to subscribe every single month of the year. I mean, if I subscribe for major road trips 2 to 3 times a year, that's only $600 a year. Divide that by 10,000, I'm getting almost 14 years worth there, and there's no way I'm keeping a vehicle for 14 years.
That's one thing though, because they do have that free autopilot, and while we've had that on a couple cars, it is annoying to use on road trips when you want to pass cars, because it's nice to be able to do auto lane change and all that stuff. To me, the free version is probably good enough, and it's like if they didn't have the free version, then I would probably subscribe to something. But I definitely appreciate that I can get by, and I'll save $200 a month or $10,000 if I have to change the lanes manually a few times.
Yeah, exactly. Rich said, funny you talk about buying $20,000 brakes, but not 10,000 FSD. It's all about priorities and perceived value. So, perceived value. When I have sold vehicles in the past that had FSD, I did not get the full money I spent on FSD back out of it. I can't transfer FSD to another car. It has to be sold with that vehicle.
Yeah, well, you could take the hardware
the brakes,
off. Yeah.
I did this with the Model 3 sports car, or race car, too. I can put the 20K brakes on it. I can use them, and then once I sell the car, I can sell the car with or without the brakes, depending on what the buyer wanted and what made sense to me. And then I have the option to sell the brakes separately. So it's a little different because the brakes are something I physically have and can do whatever I want with. The like the FSD value is something I can't remove, I can't touch. It has to be sold with the car. I don't have a choice. So it's a little bit different in my eyes.
Yeah. And we did hear on the earnings call,
It's still valid,
like a
but
month or two back, they said when you do a trade-in, they value the full self-driving, and you're getting a higher trade-in value. I don't believe that. And even if you are, it's not worth the $10,000. We still wish they offered the ability for you to transfer it or have a reduced, if you bought it for $10,000 here, maybe you can get it for half price on your next car, something like that. Because again, we spent $66,000, over the last 5 years on autopilot, and we haven't gotten anywhere near that value out of it.
Exactly.
And if we buy other things like Windows or something like that. If you get the OEM version of Windows, then yeah, that can only stay on the one vehicle. But on the one computer, if you buy OEM Windows. But typically, though, if you buy the full version, you can move that from computer to computer as long as you only have it on one. And it would be nice if or have like a full house subscription or something. If they're So if you have 4 cars in the garage, you shouldn't have to be paying $800 a month of subscription.
Because you're probably not driving all.
Because you can only drive one car or 2 cars at a time, and so they should have a value package or something. And I know that sounds crazy saying a value package when you have 4 Teslas, but it's just like there's got to be a way they could have an incentive, and they make money and we save money.
Exactly. Or like once you pay for it with $10K, offer a transfer one time for only like $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be free. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a little discount and like showing people that you still would like them to upgrade vehicles, but not feel like now they won't be able to get FSD because it's so expensive. Maybe offer it like a one-time transfer, but that transfer costs like $1,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
Food for thought. I think there's a lot of different ways they could go about doing it.
Yeah. And maybe they will eventually, but right now they have months or years worth of orders in that they don't need to be as that customer loyalty bonus that other manufacturers have to keep throwing out there to get you to buy all the time. They know that you'll buy because of the new hardware, stuff like that. But eventually, as there's more competition out there, they're going to have to do something, I think.
Yep. Mando said, I like how Abstract Ocean showed Eric adding the Chrome Delete Plaid emblem on their YouTube channel. Yeah, you like that crossover? That was kind of fun.
That was just the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I hope that you thumbs up the video, Mando.
Oh, and that's nice though, because again, that was one of our big complaints when we took delivery of the Plaid, is that the Plaid badge was still in Chrome and the Tesla T logo on the front was still in Chrome, and actually one in the back is too. And it's just like, why are those still in Chrome? So it's nice that Abstract Ocean has that available.
Yeah, I'm actually going to drop that link here, into chat. If you guys haven't checked it out, Abstract Ocean is our channel sponsor, just FYI. But we have been using their products for well before they became a channel sponsor and absolutely love their stuff. But they now have the Plaid emblem in black, so it will match the rest of your Chrome deleted refresh Model S or X. I've even seen some people throw it on their performance Model 3s. Have fun with it.
Plaid.
But I am super excited that we now have a non-Chrome option, because the fact that they did the front T in Chrome and the Plaid emblem in Chrome really grinds my gears.
It's like they just had a big box of old parts that they haven't.
But what about why is the Plaid in Chrome? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a brand new thing.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
So anyway, super glad Abstract Ocean is now offering that. If you want to, definitely check out the install video that I linked below. You can actually order it all through there. Huge thanks to them for coming up with that, because I can't see Chrome like that anymore. Let's see. Helma said they do have the newer key fob.
Interesting.
And it still locked it up.
So that I'm just guessing though, it would be something with the software. They didn't test something and it broke. Because I just read about that a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had the same problem. We still have the old fobs on our S100D. We could upgrade to the new ones, but the old ones are still working.
Yeah. Otis said, how can you tell if you have the new headlights? To be honest, without seeing them side by side, I honestly don't know. I'll after this, I'll post to Twitter and ask for some people to post some photos of their headlights and see what we can find on Twitter. So if you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter and maybe we'll be able to figure it out there. So Mark said Tesla would be nowhere without their early adopter supporters. They should reward that, not ignore it. And then Mark responded that Tesla did with free supercharging, free Roadster, and other free stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely like, I'm very thankful. Don't get me wrong.
But not everybody got.
Not everybody got like Roadsters or other free stuff.
Actually, nobody's gotten a free Roadster so
True.
far, but a lot of people did earn them, and they're still waiting on them. But yeah, and free supercharging, yeah, we still have free supercharging.
We just don't take advantage of that like some people
as much as we could, but definitely it's worth it to a lot of people do a lot of road trips.
Yeah.
The thing is, too, prices have really come down since we bought those vehicles, because, you know, compared to what you paid for the S100D, the price came down like $50,000 for the 2019 long range S, and it was a better car, and it was like 50,000 less.
Get this, I paid for that 100D $117,500. Not a little chunk of change by any means. And now the Plaid was like 130,000. So for 13 extra grand, we got all that extra stuff and the speed and the Plaid and everything. But when I bought mine, the Performance 100D, they're the P100D Model S, was $160,000.
Yeah. So prices have come down. So it's like we're not complaining about the price coming down. It's just that I think just that ongoing fees for full self-driving.
Yeah, exactly.
They add up over the years.
Yep. Let's see. Otis said they had an all-wheel drive. So my belief and my assumption is currently all-wheel drives are not getting the new Matrix headlights, only Performance. And Mando said the Model Y Performance have them now, but down the road when Austin is running, more than likely they will add them for the long range. So I'll post about it though and see if we can't get some answers from people and some photos, because that would be kind of cool. Let's see here. Ryan said we are moving to Denver from Texas with our Model Y. What do we need to get up there?
Not really. Well, I mean, it's like one thing I don't think you really need winter tires.
No, if you do, so we don't do winter tires.
Just because
we just do all season.
Living in the metro area. I mean, if you're going to be living up in like Leadville or something like that,
different story.
Then you might need winter tires. But we're out in the Denver metro area. The snow is here and then it's gone. Typically the next day, so you don't really need anything more than all season tires.
Yeah, and that's one thing. A lot of people do winter or even studded tires. I've never done any of that. I found all seasons, as long as they have decent tread on them. If they're near the end of their life, probably not going to be great. But I found all seasons do just fine for me. And I literally drove the Model Y through 1.5 feet of snow during a blizzard to get to work. Because none of my coworkers could get in, and we had to do stuff, and it did great.
Yeah.
On all seasons.
And even around town, again, you don't need chains or anything. I have never in 25 plus years seen anybody use chains around town. I'm not saying that nobody has them. I have never seen anybody in 25 years use chains in the Denver area. If you are going to be up in the mountains, there's some places, and sometimes they do have really bad storms where like chains are required, but I think there is an exception that if you have all-wheel drive, you don't even need chains on those days. But double check that. But I think if you're moving from Texas, as long as you have good all-season tires with good tread, you should be good, at least around the metro area or the entire eastern, front range of Colorado.
Definitely. If you have any other questions, though, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram or Twitter or anything. We're happy to help you out. And welcome to Colorado. Rob said, my front mud flaps from Tesla on the Model Y are nice, but they drag on speed bumps. I did notice that. They were very low. Also got the little paint protector patches for the rear doors. Definitely a must-have as well, just to make sure you protect that. Jennifer said wind has been howling for hours in Colorado Springs. How windy is it over by where you are?
It's actually not that windy. We did have a bit right about 3 o'clock. We were out. Scott and I were on a walk with the dogs, and it just came all of a sudden, kind of like the retro we had last year. But just all of a sudden, you could see it coming from the north, and it was blowing all the dust, and the cold just hit us all at once. But it hasn't been that bad. We have had a high wind warning here for the last day or two, so our storm watch did kick in and charge the power walls up. But we typically in our neighborhood we have a lot of wind, and actually right now it's pretty quiet. So it's funny how we're into a high wind warning and it's actually less wind than what we're usually used to.
And Dawn said no wind downtown.
Yeah.
I love it how we have people all over Colorado
Yeah.
who are like, oh, it's windy over here.
But we
It's not
did
windy
smell.
here."
We did smell. We say it for those of you in Colorado. It kind of smelled like Greeley when we were out earlier. And so, if those of you who are in Colorado, and if we know what that means, then we might actually be getting the first recorded snow of the season sometime in the next couple of days.
Yep. Carlos said, I'm picking up my white 2022 white plaid this Wednesday, the 11th.
Ooh,
awesome. Congratulations.
That's what we would have liked, but we needed a car sooner, so we ended up getting that black interior. But the next S will be white on white.
And the X. That is our must-have.
And we will dress accordingly.
We will. Rob said, you're making me feel bad about paying $7K for FSD. That said, I wouldn't pay for it again. $7K for FSD is a little bit more...
It's better than...
palatable than 10. Definitely. If it was 7K, I would maybe add it again. But 10K is just so much money. And the way I look at it is if I invest that 10K, I will have no problem with the $200 a month potential subscription fee because I can pay that with the earnings from the 10K, but I still have the 10K at the end of the day when I sell the car. So, of course, you got to be careful with investing and all that. Not investment advice, but it's something to think about.
And another thing, too, we still liked how the pricing was 5 years ago when they had it broken down into enhanced autopilot and full self-driving, because you got almost all the functionality in that enhanced autopilot package for $5,000. And then for the $3,000 or $2,000 that they charge more, depending on when you bought it, it was the full self-driving. But then years later, they ended up moving almost everything out of that. They got rid of enhanced autopilot and gave you free basic autopilot and took all of that enhanced autopilot functionality and put it in the FSD package. If they split it up and had it more like 4,000 or something like that, I think a lot of people we'd still probably buy that.
Oh yeah, I totally would buy that.
But paying $10,000 for all at once, not going to do that.
Yep. Chris said, when I sold my P85, the free unlimited supercharging went with it, but it was tricky. The new owner must request the change, not the seller, by removing it from their account first, or it could be lost. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, and we've sold a couple of cars in the free supercharging.
Yeah.
Transferred on those.
Yep.
But they were back again. It was any car back before like January 15th of 2017 had transferable supercharging.
Yeah.
As long as it was a private sale, and there's all these different rules. But yeah.
There are a lot. Mando X Games said, "Do you think V11 will be the next holiday update? Come on, Elon, you disappointed everyone last December." To be honest, I have not been thinking about V11 too much because I don't want to get hopes up again and lose it. So I will just be super excited once V11 comes out.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going.
And I think it's going to be, we've seen a preview of that in the Plaid.
Oh,
So
definitely.
It's going to, but so now that the 3 and the Y.
But I think there's still stuff to build upon.
Oh, they have a lot of stuff that's still missing from the Plaid. I mean, just today we were driving and I was complaining they still haven't enabled that multi-Bluetooth so that the people in the rear seats can listen to something different from the people in the front. Because I could have been watching the movie on the screen, but I know that you didn't want to listen to it. And so they definitely still need to do that. They still need all the games. They're talking about this, however many teraflops of gaming power.
More than a PS4 or 5, I think.
And they haven't released anything yet. And, they still show Witcher, on all the pictures for it, all the renderings, and we still don't have any games like that. So I know a lot of people aren't going to be playing games like that, but there's a lot of software features that are still missing, and it's been almost 6 months since they released the S.
Yeah. Mark said you can get a Tesla aftermarket snowplow for the tow hitch. We should do that for the X.
I saw somebody doing that.
We could do that for the X, and I could just back right out the garage and push it all into the street.
Only problem is we have the gravel, though. You have to.
I'll just raise it up a little bit.
You have to be careful.
That's a really good. Okay, we need to find that and buy that pronto.
But then you have to take it off after you're done with it, because otherwise, insurance.
Yeah, true. But what would happen is I would buy that, and we wouldn't get snow for the rest of the season.
Probably, yeah. That's what happens.
That's how it would work.
Or could you get on the quad? Will they have a plow?
Oh, the adult quad?
Yeah.
That would be cool. We could make one. That would be something I would be willing to weld onto. Mark said the point in paying for FSD when I did was the guaranteed upgrades, keeping the car long term. In which case, totally. And that's what made sense with the 2017, because that one was what, 7K? 3K for enhanced?
It was 8,000 total.
8,000.
It was 5,000 and then plus 3,000. But then they later had like a sale, and my mom, when she bought it for her 3, she paid the 5,000 and then she got it for 2,000.
What?
So yeah.
But anyway, in that case, we totally wanted to lock in FSD and be guaranteed upgrades and everything. But now I don't think I would buy FSD. If anything, I would just do the subscription.
Yeah, and they keep doing the threats of the price is going up. It's like, okay, then
How much higher can I
I'm not
really
going to
get?
buy it.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to come out with the Model 2 or the not a Model 2 that's going to be $25,000,
Yeah.
that won't even have a steering wheel and pedals because it's going to have full self-driving, then why would I pay $15,000 to add it on another car that I already paid $100,000 for when I could just go buy a $25,000 car? Might not enjoy it as nearly as much,
But it'll drive you around.
but if you can do it for that much, you don't need to be paying or charging $10,000 to $15,000 for it on your more expensive vehicles. Okay.
What he said.
Let me get off my soapbox here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. You gonna climb down?
We need to have a little box here. That
We
you
should.
can,
Actually, we should put a little podium right here.
Oh,
You
yeah,
think,
that'd be good.
okay, I'll get a little podium, and anytime we have something that we
get,
need
like,
to talk
one of-
about,
yes.
we can stand at the podium. God, that's a good
I bet your
idea.
mom can make us one. Like,
Mom, if you're watching this, I'm gonna need a
we're
podium
gonna have to
built.
give her some measurements. Yeah.
Just send me a Zelle request, and I'll
Eric,
approve it.
You could probably add it to the top of that thing.
Okay.
Because the podium that
Yeah.
sits on top of that.
Okay.
Put it right here.
I'm on.
We can roll it over here and be like, yeah, we're gonna have like a
This is funny.
op-ed. And stuff like that.
T-Rex 30. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. T-Rex 36 said, family just ordered our first Tesla Model Y to be delivered in June. Can't wait.
Congrats.
Come soon enough. Congratulations.
Hopefully it comes sooner than June,
Yes.
so you don't have to wait that long. But we know what the wait is like, so
Yes.
we've been there. But you'll definitely enjoy it when it comes.
Definitely.
And plus, the good thing about it being in June is that you might have all sorts of other hardware
Newer stuff.
that's not out yet.
Yep. Jennifer said, woo woo. Thanks for the shout outs and information, guys. Keep up the good work. I love not being the only one watching in Colorado tonight. Now, we actually have quite a few Colorado viewers and subscribers that reach out all the time. Definitely, if you haven't yet, check me out on Twitter and like Instagram and stuff, because we do Colorado meetups every now and then. So we'd love to have as many people out as possible. Billy said, not sure if this was asked or not, but will the Model 3 Performance have the Matrix headlights? Great question. Let's find out.
And that's something that I would say eventually, I'm sure it will. But how soon, we don't know.
Let's see if the performance
But
shows
we did
it.
see when Eric was looking at the Y, we could, it looks like those are staying the same.
Staying
right now.
the same.
Yeah. So maybe not yet. Maybe
Yep.
next year sometime.
Yep. Mando said, I wonder since Giga Berlin will be starting production this month, we may see newer colors. But will those newer colors come over to the US? I'm afraid they're not going to. So I don't. I guess I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But that would be really nice to see something new, something fresh. Really, all the colors available now have been out for
Like 5 years. Yeah.
5 years.
Because they've actually reduced the number of
They
colors.
have.
Because back in the end of 2016, that's when they got rid of the titanium, they got rid of silver,
Solid
they
white.
got rid of the obsidian black, they got rid of the solid white.
Yeah.
And so they've reduced it down, and they haven't added any new colors since then. So it'd be nice if they did.
Yep. Amy said, Bailey and I are just here for the puppy cam. You could have just put that in chat, but thank you so much, Amy. I really do appreciate it. Here are the puppies.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe we should put the camera over here
Yeah, maybe I
someday, so that we can face it down and see that way, and also, or you could also see like.
Actually, maybe I should put like 20 cameras up in here.
Yeah, we'll have to experiment with that, because then that way you might get some different angles, and they could see what's going on.
Kid, what's this?
The man behind the curtain. Oh yeah, we need to have some snacks too, or like a snack. We could hook up a snack dispenser, and people could be.
Oh my God, is a snack dispenser based on donations a bad idea? Our dogs are gonna get
I'm
real
sure they
fat.
would like it. Yeah.
We have to put like regular food in there. But anyway, there's puppies here too. Mr. Kit, what's this? Oh, there he is, right there. Thank you so much for $5, Amy. I really do appreciate it. Let's see where I was.
Mark was saying
Oh, yeah.
he won't trade his Model S for a new one until they bring the sunroof back. Yeah, and that's one
Same.
thing that's still great about the
Love
S100D
that.
is we have that sunroof. And I don't know why I thought they might have that when the Plaid came out, and it's still not an option.
But it's like something that we really don't use super often comes in so well during those great summer, spring, fall days.
Colorado, you can use it like almost.
Even in the winter, some days are like 80 degrees here in the winter. It is so nice to be able to open that sunroof. I absolutely do love that. I think that's one reason why I'm so excited for the Roadsters, because I can drop top.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. Let's see. Mando said, just think, add a snowplow on the quad motor Cybertruck for $2,500. Do it. No questions asked. Take my money. Let's see. Rob said, would you ever fully trust a car to drive you, like you sit in the back seat and trust it? I mean, yeah.
I think eventually.
I would start in the front.
Yeah.
And then maybe move my way to the back.
It's still got a
eventually.
ways to go. But I mean, when we've tested, sometimes it works perfectly, but it's still not perfect all the time.
Exactly.
So I think in order to trust it, it would have to do everything perfectly. Because you just got the 10.6 update today, and while you used it a lot on the drive when we went up into the mountains, there were still a few times where it just kept beeping, and we had no idea why it beeped, because you didn't cross any line, there were no cars, or I think one time there was a car that was kind of getting close to the line, but it's like, you know, it's just not perfect yet. So I think it's still going to need to be, like Elon says, with the margin nines or like 99999%.
Yeah.
It's got to have to be perfect, I think.
Yeah. It's not there yet. We'll say that. Let's see. Carlos said, can you recommend a nice body kit for the Plaid? Unfortunately, I haven't even found one yet. Plaid is so new, it's probably going to be a year or so until any nice, like, really built-in carbon fiber body kits come out. I will say, though, many people are working on them. So, yeah. Let's see. Diego has to go. Awesome. Have a good night, Diego. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. Pierre said, waiting for Tesla e-bike. Hopefully they'll put the new Texas Terra in use. E-bike would be interesting. I see a good market for that.
Especially if they had one that maybe would fold up and kind of fit a little better, because I know a lot of people have e-bikes now that fit like in the back of the Model S, or you know, they fit in any car really. So yeah, it'd be nice if Tesla came out with something like that, or just, you know, partnered with somebody. They don't need to build it themselves.
Just partner with
somebody.
Licensing deal.
Yeah, like they're doing with Radio Flyer and all these other ones.
Yeah.
Do something with an e-bike manufacturer.
That would be really nice.
I still think, you know, that new Cybertruck for kid things looks pretty cool, but
the Cyberquad?
Cyberquad, it still looks, it's too
$1,900 is
it's
awfully
like,
expensive.
Because I know you can get something, you know, fourth that price, maybe less than a fourth of that price, fifth that price, and so it's just like, I think it's just the Tesla name on that they're really milking it for all they can.
But I almost bought one. I almost did.
Eric came up. I was already in bed.
He was already in bed.
He's like, look. And I was like, no.
And then I came down here and was pondering it. And then the next day I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy it. And I went to the store and it was sold out. And I was like, well, that's a sign.
And I'm sure you could have bought one and resold it and made money, but that's going to be really expensive to.
I wouldn't want to ship that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like with a surfboard or something like that.
Okay, you still to this day were like, why did you buy a stupid surfboard?
Yeah, but
then we look at the prices on eBay. But surfboards in a whole nother realm. That was only 150 were made, and that was it.
Yeah.
The Cyberquad, I guarantee you, it's a Radio Flyer product. They're going to be selling them.
Yeah, forever. Yeah.
So the surfboard was a little bit different.
Very limited edition.
Very, very limited. But yeah, $1,500 on a surfboard wasn't necessarily a smart money move either, until you see they're now selling for like 10, 12 grand. So that worked out. But no plans to sell mine, we'll say that. Peter said, just confirmed with a Tesla rep, no more red caliper brakes for Model Y performance.
Interesting, because somebody else had brought that earlier. I don't know if that was Peter, but
yeah, I think it was Peter.
They need to update the website.
Yeah, website
because
slacking.
it still shows it.
Yeah. So like here, if you look so Model 3 performance clearly shows the red. This one you can kind of see like a hint of red, but if you go to this view, you can definitely see it's red. And this view, no.
So we definitely
that view you can definitely see red.
We'll have to watch though over the next few weeks. If we start seeing them delivered without that, they definitely need to update their website.
Yep. Let's see. Mando said, can Elon add the Tesla shop a cyber dog food dispenser? Eric would buy that in a heartbeat. You know I would.
Come on, or or like they're talking about robotics and stuff like that. They could have a little robot that you can
little
remote
robotic
control,
dog
that goes around, or just something that rolls around and can dispense snacks, or or like we've seen that little drone that's supposed to be coming out that you can fly around your house.
Yep.
Tesla could do something like that.
That would be cool.
People would buy it.
Exhibit A. People will buy anything Tesla related. Let's see. Luke said tax rebate on e-bikes hopefully soon too. Oh man, I already have an e-bike though. But another one might not be bad. 67 Elizabeth said hello from Colorado Springs. Another Colorado Springs person. Just ordered a Model Y long range for June delivery. Just found out about your channel. How often are you live? Awesome. Well, first off, congrats on the Model Y. Super exciting. We are live. Try to be every Sunday or Saturday. Try to do it once a week. Depends if there's a Tesla event. We'll do it a little bit more often. Unfortunately, for the past 2 weekends. We haven't been live because we had Thanksgiving, we had some family in town, and also just
That
some
was a
other
last
stuff
minute.
going on.
Yeah, one of the weeks it was last minute because my uncle's in town and didn't know about it until he called us and so had to cancel. And then I don't remember, we were busy doing something else right after Thanksgiving. So, but typically we try to do it once a week just so we lets us get out there, talk about what's new in the Tesla world and answer any questions you might have. So yeah, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, and definitely if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I would recommend joining the Denver Tesla Club on Facebook.
They have their own club down there in Colorado Springs, though.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've met up with them, like the Denver Tesla Club.
Oh, yeah. The Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend joining one of them. I believe they're both on Facebook, actually.
Yeah. And it might not be Tesla only, but I know they have definitely it's
an EV
club down there because we've gone on like some rallies down there to like Cripple Creek and stuff with them. So.
Yep. Great people, though. Great people. Let's see. Orenthal said, your next non-Tesla purchase needs to be a silent yacht. Look them up. They're awesome. Actually,
we looked at...
I mean, how much can I say?
I don't know, but those... Yes, we know what you're talking about.
I have been approached by a company that makes them, asking if I would like to test one out. However, that happened kind of right when COVID started, and I haven't been able to get into their country yet.
Their factory, I think, is in Germany. You could go, but, there's limited travel, and they keep locking stuff down.
Yeah.
One of these days.
We will definitely do that, though, because that is something...
It'd be cool. I've seen some of their videos, and they look nice.
Yeah.
Being in Colorado is not something we could really use that often, but definitely would like to go test one out.
Yep. Amy said, what's for dinner, Scott?
Scott, I think, made some sort of pasta for dinner.
Oh, pasta. Yes. Pasta bake? Maybe. Ooh, that'd be good.
I don't know, but we already kind of ate earlier.
We had a very, very big lunch up at the casino because I had 2 free buffets, and the buffets are like $64 a piece now. So we ate a ton of food to make it worthwhile.
We probably would only typically pay like $15, if that. But since it was 65 whatever bucks, we had to try to get our money. Well, it was free, but we tried to get as much value as we could.
Oh yeah, we definitely
free food. We are so cheap, okay?
Yeah.
And then we buy all these Teslas, but yeah.
Hey, that buffet though was a free coupon.
2 of them.
2 of them. So all good.
That was like $130 worth of food.
It was. It definitely wasn't $130 worth, but they charge $130.
Yeah.
Jennifer said, "I wish it was legal to put photochromatic tint on windshields. When that becomes illegal, sun visors may become obsolete and driving would be much safer." I would absolutely love
photochromic.
that.
Yeah, like that's what I'm surprised they haven't, because we've saw that Tesla does have like they have a patent for that, and we were expecting that years ago, like on the Model X. They've had this patent for over 5 years, and then we thought, okay, no, they're gonna have it on the Plaid. They still don't have it, so I can see that eventually because it doesn't take much power to darken that, and that would be so much better than having to get them tinted.
And we've used it on the 787s that we've flown on. Isn't it the 787s that have it?
Yeah, on the windows.
And those have it on their planes, and I absolutely love it. I would be all about that for sure. Even if it was like an added option, I would do that. David 985 said, "Hi guys, just sold our older S and put in an order in for a new long range Model 3. Tesla site says February delivery. Do you feel that's reasonable and accurate?" Long range Model 3, that's actually not too shabby.
Yeah, I think that's definitely doable because they churn out a lot of Model 3s. And also with the Gigafactory in Austin coming online eventually, maybe this month in January, that's maybe going to be reducing the number of Ys and stuff that they're producing there in Fremont. So that's going to be more slots for Model 3s.
Yep. Real quick, and thanks to Mark for pointing this out. We were talking about electrochromatic. She was talking about photochromatic, kind of like transitional lenses on glasses.
Oh, just the automatic?
They automatically
Yeah, we were talking about the... Yeah.
But, I mean, to be honest, like
Similar,
that's not a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Because at night it wouldn't be tinted, but in the day it would be tinted.
The problem, I guess, with those though is that it still takes a few minutes or something. And if you went like today, we went through a tunnel, and there were no lights on in the tunnel for some reason. But luckily, your headlights do come on. But you can imagine if you were just outside and it was still dark, it could make it so you can't really see in there. So definitely, they need some electrochromatic ones.
Yep, definitely. Mando said Tesla semi mega charger station going in at PepsiCo's Modesto facility, now under construction, potentially indicating Pepsi will soon receive their first semi deliveries.
That's we'd heard.
I did just read about that this morning. So I forgot to put that in the news.
I know that we talked about that a couple weeks ago. That the CEO for Pepsi was saying they were expecting delivery soon. So even though Elon said they weren't coming for like another year, I think Pepsi might be on their some of the first deliveries to do some trial runs. And
could this be Tesla and Elon are trying to under promise and over deliver.
Maybe, yes.
Because
maybe.
that's something we don't normally see with Tesla.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of cool. I would be all about that. Let's see. Steve said just drove 10.6 for the first time. Odd braking, incorrect lane switching. Might just be nav data issues though. We'll test more tomorrow. Yeah, I need to retest mine and I might redo the camera calibration. Some people have said if they got weird results with a new beta build, they would do that and it would really help. So I might try to recalibrate. Yeah, might try that a lot. Mark said latest update screwed up a lot of speed limits in Australia.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I wish that they.
Yeah.
I was just with my mom on Friday, and she doesn't have the full self-driving beta yet, but there's still parts of like C470 or around the Denver metro area where they were doing construction for a couple of years, and the speed limits have been wrong for 2 to 3 years, and it drops from 65 down to 45, and you can't. That's not safe to have it drop. And I know about it when I used to commute, I would know to use the accelerator there, but my mom doesn't take that road very often, and it freaks her out whenever the car just slows way down. So they definitely need to do something to get those speed limit databases updated.
Definitely. Chris is here in chat. He is one of our moderators. Welcome, Chris. He said he can't stay though, so I don't know. He might have already left. But anyway, it was welcome to see you, Chris. Oh, he said hi. Okay, cool. He's here. But anyway, great timing, Chris, because I think we're gonna go ahead and end it there. It's been almost like 2 hours now, and so we're gonna go ahead and get some food and relax a little bit, get ready for the week. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, though. I'm not sure about videos this week. I'll have to see kind of what I have left for editing and what we need to film and stuff like that. But hopefully some cool stuff coming up soon. Hopefully we get our Model S VIN this week. That would be really cool.
We were thinking we'd have it last Thursday. Didn't happen, but less than 2 weeks to go.
Yep. So hopefully we get that soon. Or what if we get the Model Y and the Model S in the same day? That would be...
You mean the X?
Or X. Yeah, sorry. See, I'm thinking Y again.
I don't think we have a Y on
I'm thinking Y again. What if we get them in the same day? That would be really cool,
too. That would be nice, but we're going to have to clean up the garage if we're going to have all these cars plus Dan's car in there. So
Yep. We'll make it work, though, Dan. We will make it work. Thanks so much for everyone for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the super chats, as always. Very appreciated. Not required, though. Having you guys hang out and chat is awesome. I'm really happy to be able to do this. And any of you that helped answer people's questions in the chat too, really do appreciate that.
And welcome to all the new viewers tonight.
Yes. Welcome everybody. As always though, if you are unfamiliar, we would like to give a shout out to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you haven't heard of them, definitely check them out. All linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. All kinds of really awesome, useful accessories for Model SX3 and Y. So got to give a quick shout out to them and really thank them so much for their support and making this all possible. But we will go ahead and see you all, at the very least, next weekend.